Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith. You know what it is. I'm doing something else that I love to do, but I'm on another platform. It's
Yes, sir.
we back. Barbershop edition, Expression Sessions with my co-host, Trae. What's going on? How you been? It's been almost a year now.
I know, man. I've been lost in the sauce. Don't worry about it.
Nah, you ain't been lost in the sauce. I can't let you get off like that because I know you've been cooking up the sauce. The sauce been bubbling. The sauce been good, man. Tell us something, man.
It's been going good, man. You know, just pumped up, getting ready for these next couple of events we got going on. And, you know, I'm a number one fan of what you got going on, you know. Shit out the Corey behind the booth, you know.
Oh, you already know.
Making the magic happen.
You already know I'm gonna get them in there. I always do. I just you know have to do what I normally do. But so we down here at the legendary Paradox, Austin, Texas, East 5th Street. You know I do the Mr. P.I.E.N show. You almost hear me speaking, shouting it out, Paradox. But man, I want to say it was probably a year ago when we got together when I first started doing the Expression Session show, and we talked about doing, you know, a barbershop edition. And it wasn't based off just what LeBron James had going on with the shop. It was kind of an idea we had to bringing it from a real standpoint with a real barber. You know what I'm saying? A real barber, a real entrepreneur, a real businessman, so somebody behind the chair. And then Corona was everywhere. And then we was up out of there. We was up out of there. But now, it's so amazing that we coming back this week because we almost about a month away from something that's going to be a big day, a big 3 days. June 26th, 27th, 28th. The Barbershop Mixer, the Barber Mixer at 1104 East 11th Street in Austin, Texas. You got to go to Eventbrite. Trae will give you the details. But you got to come check out the Barber Mixer, man. I checked out y'all Instagram live call when you was talking to Cassius out of ATL, Wakanda.
Cassius,
yeah, so I seen y'all Instagram call.
Shout out to OG Jermaine Walker, yeah.
Yeah, I seen that too. Well, I think he was saying he's out of Florida or something like that. And listen, man. If for nothing else, if you could just go be in the room and listen to the business and the knowledge that these men is dropping about going from behind the chair to being able to cut everywhere to being in businesses and now giving conferences and classes to help other barbers get to the next level, bro.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, man. Passing the education along, you know.
Yeah, so while you talking about, you know, attempting to cook the sauce, you've been bubbling over. You've been saucy.
Yeah, I definitely have.
You've been
man.
saucy. So Austin, Texas. If you're a barber out there, you're a hairstylist out there, you need to tune in from everywhere. And you need to tell your friends out there that Trae and EJ, we doing the Barbershop Expression Session show on Mondays. And we about to make this thing blow up.
Yes, sir.
But today, we had something interesting we wanted to talk about. Something that I don't really know too much about, just, you know, from a point of view, a hair care point of view. But the industry out in Hollywood, how it's not a lot of us to get our hair did the way we need to.
Exactly. Yeah, I heard.
How does something like that happen? Right? You a barber. I mean, you can't answer that for everybody, but you a barber. You've been cutting hair about 20 years now.
Okay.
Maybe professionally, what, 10 or 15?
Yeah, about 8 to 10.
Okay, so cutting hair. Now where we at in 2021? With Black Panther, with Black African American leads, Denzel in Training Day. You have your Halle Berry, your Gabrielle, your Taraji's, you got your Angela Bassett. I don't want to forget nobody. And I'm naming all these Black elite actors and actresses, and then you have the Hollywood execs. How does an industry so big, where we're so influential, go for so long and not have someone who can cater to their investment? How do you not have top stylists from the hood that can do nappy tappy, that can cut some bugs that we have sometimes? Like, how does that happen? How do you believe that happens?
Probably a lot of times, a lot of the barbers and stylists, they're in their local cities and they can't commute, travel out to LA, you know, and then a lot of times being out there in Hollywood, you know, it's a whole nother area and level of expertise. So yeah, it's a whole nother level of area of expertise. So you need to, that's one thing, commuting. And then also as far as trying to getting people that can work with each other and network with each other. Because, you know, different cities, different environments, different backgrounds, you know, it's all about connecting, you know.
And I think for me though, and I get what you're saying, to be able to commute, because you have entertainers and stars that comes from all over the world. And a lot of times when you first starting out, you ain't making the type of paper to where you can bring your stylist with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically be available to who's out there.
I'm just messing with stuff, but you're not able to bring your stylist with you. You have to almost, go with what they got for you. Go with who they give you. But I think my question for you more so is, or when I ask that, why do you believe at this day and age, it's kind of like the Grammys, right? Mm-hmm. Almost every year you have some black people talking about boycotting the Grammys and the BS that goes through with the award, you know what I'm saying, with the award itself, right? Mm-hmm. But it never really happens. And I guess I'm saying, why haven't the Grammys changed? Why haven't they updated their system? Hollywood, why haven't you changed? Why do you think they've allowed to, like, okay, we were watching the video.
Yeah.
What was that, Corey? A night out? Last week tonight. Okay. It was about hair. And about 13 minutes into the video, there was a clip of an actor, and he's talking about just getting started out, being, in the beginning, going to hair and makeup, going to hair and makeup. And he said, old girl came in there, sprayed some water on his hair out the spray bottle and patted him like a chia pet.
Yeah, that's crazy. Basically not being educated. Like, prime example, when I went to barber school, in barber school, you have to learn how to do everything. Mm-hmm. Curly, coarse, straight, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, white, black. You have to learn how to do everything, roller sets. So basically it goes back to a lot of these big name schools, not trying to be funny, a lot of these big name schools, they don't show you and tell you how to do ethnic hair. They just show you how to do, not trying to be funny, straight hair. So most of these people that are in these high places in Hollywood and in LA and all that, they're not taught or shown or properly educated on how to do black hair. So that's why when someone walks in with coarse hair or black hair, if we want to call it, they don't know what to do. But as far as me, I know how to do all types of hair, because I was properly trained and educated. So it goes back to they're having to get in that curriculum and putting that in the Paul Mitchells, not trying to be funny.
No, it's true. Because
putting that in the Paul Mitchells and all these big platform schools, international schools that cater to just one genre of people.
One demographic of people. And that's exactly what I was really asking too. Why is it that way? Why is it? Shout out to Trae the Barber page over there. I see you on Turn Up as usual. That's what I was asking you, is like, why is that? And I get that. Hollywood execs or Hollywood, elites, they're probably not looking for, when they hire somebody who's gonna work on a Hollywood set or a film set, they probably not looking for people who's doing black hair. Because on that video, it also said that it was a union.
Exactly.
And it was easy to get into that union, although most people feel like it's hard to get into that union. And it's been around for quite some time. But think about it, just in America alone, unions started like in the early 1900s. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Unions started then, and they wasn't created, for the black man or the African American. And sometimes a lot of old habits die hard. And maybe the execs in Hollywood, when they hire people, they don't think about that. But damn, you would think by now, it's 2021. You done had Denzel roll through here a lot. You ain't got nobody who could cut Denzel hair. But like, you should hire on the spot.
They have barbers that are out there, because I know a good number of platform barbers and stylists that are out there in Hollywood. So it's not just sitting up and saying that there is no black barbers and stylists out there. But considering the amount of black folks getting into Hollywood, like Corey was saying, more and more African Americans is getting into Hollywood now, and we need to, especially barbers like myself and stylists, we need to get out there and start rubbing elbows and networking. So it's all about jumping on the flight and getting in that network.
There we go. And that's it right there. It's like they don't have to. We live in a day and age and a stage where they don't got to hire you. They don't have to hire you the people that you bring. But if Steve Harvey talks about his barber who cut his hair in Cleveland, he used to charge him $15. Then it was $200. He was getting it cut 3-4 times a week. He was making $1,500. Then it was like, when I shaved my head and I went bald, that was $1,500 that was gone. But my man had been with me for so long, and I gave him so much sauce, and I told other people about him. He had built businesses. Exactly. So we have to, if the Angela Bassett's, the Denzels of the world, or the Trae the Barbers of the world, or the Corys or the Ethan, is like, you make it, you should go back and help somebody. It's your right. You can't help everybody because everybody not meant to go at the time you think they need to go. Some people got to leave at home, leave them on the porch. Don't feel like you leaving them. You just outgrowing them because you're getting in a better place. And then you'll...
Yeah, oh my God. Say that again.
Don't feel like you leaving them. You're just outgrowing them. And you start to see from a higher vantage point because you in the better place. They're still looking at the same space. So when you think about that and you do make it, you want to go back and bring those people into your fire who can take the heat.
That makes total sense, man. That makes total sense.
You can't just bring everybody down there with you and be like, oh, we on. And if they still got the attitude like, you know, I don't care who you is, Miss Bassett, or whatever your name is. I said I ain't doing, you know what I'm saying? So then you hit.
Man, look, and that's a whole other situation. You know, getting people that's not probably educated or trained, put them in a position like that, they're going to fumble, man, every time. So
I don't think, you know, when you're watching these commentaries and these perspectives about, you know, it's not enough people in Hollywood to do African-American hair or where they at, we're all over the place, okay? We all over the place. It's at least one or two of us somewhere, even if you don't see us. We all over the place. But at the same time, a lot of people now, they just bring what they want with them. They bring their comforts with them. They make a lane for themselves. Like Trae said, we have to make a lane for ourselves. We don't have to wait for them to give our people the job.
I've been out there, yeah. You know, I've flown out there and done hair in the West Coast and the East Coast, man. So it's all about just getting out there, getting out of your comfort zone. But a lot of people scared to get out their comfort zone, man.
Well, it's a learned aspect. Listen, man, we talking about hair right now, and I know that's kind of the topic of it. Not too many people in Hollywood. Maybe it's not well publicized from the people that's hiring the actors, but the actors are very resourceful. What's going on, DeJuan, brother? The actors are very resourceful, and they find in the people they need to get done what they need to get done. The people that want to get it done, get it done.
Exactly, yeah.
That fake it till you make it stuff ain't real, bro. That's only for doing it for the gram, for the internet, but that's not gonna last. You're gonna have to show that you can really cut hair. You have to know texture. You can't say this black hair, this white hair. No, this is coarse hair. This is straight hair. Like, this is hair.
Because I know at the end of the day, prime example, when I moved to Austin's so diverse. So when I was living in Dallas, you know, I was in the hood, you know, cutting hair. And it was only, not trying to be funny, us coming in there.
Yeah, for sure. It's the truth.
I moved to Austin and, man, it was just like, I had to learn how to cut white, black, Hispanic, Asian, every race. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, when people come in, they're like, oh, you know, I cut my type of hair. I'm like, shit, do a duck know how to drink water? Man, sit down. Let me get your hair cut.
You tell me if I know how to cut your type of hair after I'm done cutting your hair.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what you like. And then it's like, I'm the professional. You came in here to get it cut. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's all about.
Again, it all also goes back towards your target audience, who you working with, what you doing with. Because if you're going where we started out in Hollywood and just thinking about African Americans getting their hair done, it ain't too many of them you see in movies who don't have it, you know what I'm saying, laid out. Because also the production company don't want to look too bad.
Exactly. They're gonna be like, we got to figure out who we gonna have to
we
get over here.
We got to figure out somebody, and that's not no shade to no Hispanics, no Caucasians, no Asians, because there's some Asians, whites, and Mexicans who can do black hair too. So if you are an artist or a stylist of hair, you probably should be cross-platform on any ethnicity.
You have to, because if not, you limiting yourself and putting yourself in the box, you know?
Yeah, you in the box, and you know what
all
that
day
means.
Long. Yeah.
You get in the box, you get shipped like Amazon, prime delivery to nowhere. I'm telling you. Somebody go tell you what you need to do, where you need to go. But we were talking about you need to go to the Barber Mixer, June 26th, 27th.
Barber Mixer, June 26th through the 28th. I got, shout out to my mentor, Cassius, OG Cassius, with Roller Coaster Waves. You know, I'm his business partner. Rollercoasterwaves.com. Get you some of those natural hair products. And also, shout out to OG Jermaine Walker. They're going to be coming to Austin. 2 big platform barbers. And they got a lot of knowledge and a lot of jewels to share. And I'm just excited, you know. And I can tell you a quick little story. I remember.
Go do you, man. You know,
back in, what year was this? Damn. You know, the years all feel the same now, right?
Oh, it's 2021.
Oh, yeah, 2021. So back in 2015, 14, one of them years, I went to Atlanta to the Bronner Brothers hair show. And, you know, I don't know if you've been to Atlanta or not.
No, not since I left basic training.
All right, well, in Atlanta, they got this thing called Bronner Brothers. So just imagine, like, a huge warehouse, a huge, like, exhibit expo for the weekend. And you got people coming from all over the world people, black hair, black hair products, fashion,
like bike weeks.
Just like
Freaknik on hair.
Exactly. In Atlanta for the weekends. So I went out there, man, and yeah. They had both of these individuals I met, they were both cutting hair on stage, man. And literally I was a student then. So I was just sitting back in the back of the classroom taking notes, and it's kind of crazy how went from doing that to now all of a sudden I'm working with these guys, and I'm one of them my business partner and the other one I'm about to partner with on this show. So it's kind of crazy how years and years of experience and trying different things finally have paid off, you know. Mm-hmm. So
it's a process, man. One thing I admire about barbers, a good barber has great clientele. A good barber has the father, maybe the grandfather, and the son. Nephews, cousins. A good barber, because he's doing it for a while and you want to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go from being a student to becoming a teacher, that's the ultimate goal. That's what we're supposed to do.
That's what it's all about.
Be fruitful and multiply, even from a spiritual point of view. That don't mean just slanging your thing around and making copies of you. But you still making copies of you when you give back that knowledge and that information and that wisdom.
Yeah, and this is for the barbers and the stylists. Barbers, stylists, nail techs, anybody in the industry, service industry, we're trying to reach out to, because it's all about elevating and growth, you know. So you don't even have to be a barber or a hairstylist. If you do nails or you're a masseuse, come out, because this all
esthetician?
Yeah, esthetician, yeah.
Okay, cool.
All in the service industry. So we're just trying to help educate and get people social media, products.
Oh yeah, definitely products, marketing,
real estate. Like, it goes
so much bigger than that. I mean,
bigger than cutting hair, you know.
So much more than cutting hair. And we don't want you, like Trae said earlier, get wrapped up like we bash in Hollywood, like they don't have nobody to do black hair. Yeah, they do. Maybe it's just not as easy as walking outside and seeing the golden arches. They not just falling out the sky like that. But here's the thing. We're talking about servicing you by talking about how you can get through by listening to some of the stuff that we say. You can go create that service industry too. He just said it. I was a student in the back of the class. Now I'm promoting the show with one. I have products with the other.
Exactly. That's crazy.
Barbers, good barbers, always elevate up.
Yep, you right about that, man.
Always elevate up. Good people in general always elevate up. Barbers are like walking therapists, walking fathers, walking brothers, because you stand there all day and you listen to this information. So if you have 3 gentlemen who's coming out here to Austin, Texas for 3 days to teach a web conference, who's probably got over 100 years of experience in hair care together, why wouldn't you come to help yourself grow? Look, I was sitting at the back of the room. Yeah. Now I'm actually working with the guy that cuts T.I. hair, all because I did some Instagram looking.
Instagram, and then, like you said, not being afraid and jumping on planes, man, and getting out there and get educated. Because, you know, you're going to learn a lot in the barber school, but then when you get out of barber school to cut in the shop, you're back at zero.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just like in military.
Just like in the military.
Basic training, you think you're a soldier. Yeah. You go to your unit, you at the bottom of the barrel, man. Go clean the fucking bathroom, you know.
You go to a whole new squad. If you don't go in as a squad leader, you go in from first platoon to second platoon, from, you know, alpha team, from Bravo team leader to alpha team leader. You alpha team leader in third platoon, nobody, but like third squad, like you still.
They gonna put you on the rock detail, huh? Man, go pick some rocks up, man.
Hey, everybody has their part to play. Everybody has something to say about where they at in their space in life.
Exactly.
What I understand, what I admire about barbers, they always attempting, good barbers, helping people to get through life. You standing behind that chair half the day, half the night, and people telling you about their life all day long. And you have a barber right here, a professional sitting right here telling you, regardless to what they telling you or making you believe is in Hollywood,
Dallas, Texas, baby.
In Hollywood, it's still all good for those who want to find what they want.
Man, exactly. That's what it's all about. And that's why I appreciate that connection you gave me, Corey, because I'm definitely going to use that. He gave me a little connection. I'm going to make my little profile and start branching off out there because, you know, people always tell me, like, dude, why the hell you not in California? I'm like, dude, I don't want to go to L.A., bro. I'm here. I'm in Texas. Yeah. But if my services require me to go out there, I'll jump on the plane.
It's just like, hold it ain't, you don't got to go. You don't got to change your zip code. I'll listen to the Instagram live, like OG Cassius said. Bruh, people make phone calls and I can get on a plane and ain't nothing but a flight. He said I got ATL on lock pretty much. He didn't say that, but from the conversation, I'm gonna take it as he got ATL locked up or he one of the top 3 dogs. That's just my opinion.
I went to Atlanta, man, went out there, place to stay, vehicle to drive, and any other extracurricular activities, I was good. I'm like, golly, I like this Southern hospitality, man. So that's Atlanta, man. You know, so
that was my vision that I seen. So it's like, yo, if he did that and you sitting there based off what you do, ain't no telling what the next man could do. But we sometimes think the barber just a dude standing behind a chair that ain't going nowhere.
And they don't know they don't know who's connected to who. Like me, prime example, I don't walk around with the flashy clothes and the jewelry and the big car stuff. I'm normal, you know. I know how to play this game, so it's like you just never know who's connected with anybody.
Hey, look,
that's
talk
how it
about
works.
this is the most jewelry you ever gonna see for me, and the flashiest thing on me is gonna be my teeth.
I left my jewelry. My jewelry's at home. I got some, gold chains, gold
I don't
watches,
even consider
bracelets,
this jewelry. Like
bling blinging.
My favorite watch is a watch like this from Walmart, the old school army watch you can beat up. I ain't never really got into watches because I think with the military, I always need the infantry check my time. Like I don't want to be looking through the bezels in the store. I just want to flick that thing over real quick, see it, and go. But anyhow, you know, I'm pretty sure standing behind a chair, you learned a whole lot. You just didn't get to where you were. Like you said, getting out of the barber college, then you had to start back to zero, even sitting in the back as a student. Then you had to step up and start. You said something very important, asking questions, man.
Educating, yeah.
Educating and asking questions.
A lot of people don't want to educate themselves.
Since we've known each other, we've been talking about books.
All I do when I get to you, I just pick your brain. The whole haircut, I don't even like, don't worry about the haircut. Let me just pick your brain. Like this dude right here has a lot of knowledge. This guy right here has a lot of knowledge. Yeah, he does.
And I thank you because you be giving me the game. He taking the old school who knew the old school work way and bringing the hustle out of the young EJ to the legal way. You know what I'm saying? So I love where I'm at when I'm learning with you too. I found you on social media is how we connected.
That's how it works,
but, man, you have to be like a barber and be willing to step out there. But with that being said, man, listen to me. I don't care if you in Hollywood or if you in the hood. You can always find a barber, a stylist somewhere that's going to do you good, but you got to be willing to get outside of that. And I want to transition and talk a little bit about this. I just cut all mine off because I seen it getting light. You know what I'm saying? When I thought it was enough
he could have kept it. He caps.
I probably could have kept it, but I always been lazy with my hair, bruh. Yeah. Like I always had a tight barber. I was that dude to get faded up. Brush it down, he spray it. When I go home, I ain't brushing it. Like, it was already tight.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I cut all mine off, right? And my kids used to give me a hard time about going bald. And we just talking about hair and hair care. So let me ask you this. We talking about Hollywood. Nah, I ain't no shade, no cap. Take it how you want to take it. Say what you want to say. I can stand on my own 10. What about some of these guys that's in the NBA who look like they barber need to be shot today? And then we think about, no offense, guys like LeBron. Everybody know what LeBron was going through with his hair. Yeah. All that money you got, $1 million that you put in your body. Now, let me ask you this. Could that be more a hereditary standpoint why his hair come all out like that, even though he does all he do with his body? Or
it's stress. Because you can go, it don't matter. You can sit up here and go and get hair transplant after hair transplant and do all these treatments, but considering what LeBron does, he's working at a high level and a high frequency.
Stress level, yeah.
So he's going to always be stressed out. So it don't matter. You can go over here and get all these transplants if you're not properly taking care of it on a daily basis. And then, LeBron, he's always
on the move.
Playing the game, on playing, and on the move. So it's kind of hard to let the hair grow. That might be one of the reasons why,
That's good. I never thought about that. I never knew that because sometimes I see him and it looks thicker than what it is, and sometimes it looks thinner, and I just be like, I don't know, because I ain't never really cared. I was the person like, yo, it's hair. It's eventually either gonna turn gray, it's gonna go away. It's just hair. I ain't tripping on it, but for some people, like we were talking about, you in Hollywood or you
hair's everything.
Hair's everything to some people, and for white folk, no offense, I had some white boys in the army, like, you cut their hair, they cut their hair too short, they was finna faint.
Yeah,
like, they was right up against the rag. Like, they couldn't, running their hands through their hair. I don't know that from the hood. Yeah. So hair is a big thing, man. You got to treat yourself good, take care of yourself, take care of your hair, too. But that NBA, man, I don't...
Yeah, basically what I've realized, okay, prime example, years back, I used to cut a lot of UT players, right? Mm-hmm. And then I've also cut a couple of Spurs before too. And basically they have a design barber that's already designated, that's on contract. So a lot of times it's the same barber they've been using for years. So he might not even be a good barber, but he's already in the loophole. So it's like, we're not gonna go out here and look for a new barber. We're gonna just use the same guy we've been using. So that's one of the reasons why some of these dudes' haircuts be like jacked up, and then they're like, it's not a good haircut, but it's like, I don't have time to go out here and find a good barber or find someone else that can take care of me. And a lot of times, considering if you're on the road, you have to travel. If you in the city, you might come across a good barber, then so be it. But if you're on the road and the barber you got back home can't come with you, you're subject to this.
And then at that level, you can't bring too many people around who don't get starstruck, who don't. So
exactly.
The vetting process to start all over to vet a new barber could be a couple years. To be honest with
you. Exactly, and that's the one thing. I've cut a lot of celebrities, but I don't post it. I'm a celebrity barber and all that. People get starstruck, and I've cut tons of people. I'm like, yo, sit the fuck down. I don't care about what you do. Let's sit down. Let's get a haircut. We can kick it. And then I'm not gonna treat you no differently. You know what I'm saying? But some people, they start, oh my God, I'm cutting blah blah blah, and instead of you giving them a regular haircut for the normal price, since he's a celebrity, it's gonna be $1,000. They're like, you gonna charge me $1,000, and they'll pay it, but you'll never see them again. You know,
never.
Because I've seen people do that before with celebrities, the people that have money, and they'll try to overcharge them. It's like, dude,
your price on the wall, bro, say adults 35 and up. It don't say nothing about celebrity. It don't say no special rate.
Exactly.
So you just gonna put the juice on me like that?
That's how some people are. And then if they want to put extra on top of it, then so be it. But I'm not about to tax nobody. You know, I'm gonna charge you the regular rate, and then whatever else you want to do for me. If you think I'm more valuable than $35, then so be it.
And then here's the thing, man. You know what? That could be a reason, unfortunately, why a lot of people are. A color, African American or Hispanic sometimes that could be a reason why that little snippet of hair came out, feeling like Hollywood don't cater to them because we're not, it's like you said, being able to move around in demographics and location. We don't get there, and the ones that get there might get there with the wrong attitude and mess it up for the people that's coming behind them after there.
Yeah,
because I check out YouTube, me being a speaker and researching in the way I do with YouTube, I've seen guys that cut, you know what I'm saying, younger cats now who's like, I'm just as your boy said, I only do personal, I only do private stuff, and they fly here to there because they got these type of clientele and connections, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't need the entourage, I don't need to be going through all the rigmarole, I don't need to be having to vet my whole crew.
Exactly.
When I got Kevin Durant or somebody coming to sit in my chair, he's still Kevin Durant, a regular person, he just want a haircut.
Exactly. I remember at the shop I used to work at, this was back when Antonio Walker used to play.
Yeah.
He's always come to the shop I used to work at, and he used to be like, hey man, I'm coming to the shop, everybody just be cool, I just want to sit down and be normal. But whenever he came in, everybody was like, hey, Antonio Walker's coming in, so everybody just be cool, don't ask him for an autograph.
Yeah.
He just want a damn haircut.
That's
so whenever
it.
he came in, everybody was cool, but it goes back to like that, instead of people running up on you, pressing you for an autograph, because I know that can probably get overwhelming.
Because he like, I know what's going to happen with the fans, y'all are business, so y'all going to be open. You ain't going to tell all the fans a sign posted up that he coming in and going to be a line. But for y'all that work here, don't be over here acting all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. One day I was at the barbershop, my old barber, shout out Ram, that's what he was going by, and he cut my hair. Shout out to Ram. I know you out there on Facebook or something, you went by Dr. Cuts at one point in time, so I don't know. But one time I was going to get a haircut when he moved, their shop was in Highland Mall. After Highland Mall shut down, going through where ACC is now. You go through that little back door, and sitting there, me and Zach, my son, getting a haircut. And just as I was sitting there, Michael B. Jordan walked through the door. No cap. No,
That's
for real. Michael B. Jordan walked through the door with another guy, a little short guy, looked like he could have been of African descent. You know what I'm saying? For real. And they was having a conversation, and Michael B. Jordan walked in. I'm like, man, I was telling my son, it's the dude from the show The Wire, and he had just got, it was, after the what you call that show? Friday Night Lights TV show, but he had done a couple movies. Fruitful Station was already done. But I'm like, man. Yeah. And he walked in like a regular cat. He like, what up, bro? Everybody, it was about 4 people in there. Me and my son, another guy, maybe 5 in the barbers. He went through there, he shook everybody's hand, said what up, pounded everybody out, sat down in the chair, got his cut. We started having a conversation about the strip club in lunch. With no gap. And then he was talking about he did art, because he did art too. He was actually here in Austin because it was a art show and an art exhibit, and he had some art that was being introduced.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, didn't know that.
I just dropped the Jew for y'all right there. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. So anyhow, he was a cool cat. It was, and you know, all the barbers was cool. They was cool. Wasn't nobody tripping. He got his cut, you know what I'm saying? Him and his partner. And they moved on. And, you know, it was just like another day. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, yeah.
I think, like, talking about the NBA right now and people getting caught up, and I said it earlier, a lot of times.
So what happened with who you talking about?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yeah. A lot of times, you know, we got to do it for the gram and the book and the YouTube, like, but that ain't real life for a lot of people life. And so if you watch YouTube and, hey, this is just Ethan James Smith. I gave you my whole government.
Whoa, he gave the government. Okay.
This is my opinion. So if you have an issue with something that comes out of my mouth, talk to me. Not Trae, not Corey, not Paradox Studios. So this is my opinion, right? How I see what I researched. So earlier we were talking about, you know, people attempting to do stuff that they don't need to do. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about the NBA and hair stuff. Now, a lot of people watch the podcast with Matt Barnes and
Steven Jackson.
Yeah, All the Smoke or something like that, right? I don't know how many people knew before, but a lot of people know now who Kwame Brown is. Kwame Brown was, I believe, the 2001 NBA first overall pick. Yeah. Now, he was also allegedly, as he liked to say, he was also allegedly almost like the butt of the NBA, the butt of the NBA jokes for being like, if you watch the shows, they would say like this guy, the biggest bust in NBA or NFL, like they do to Jamarcus Russell and stuff like that. Like it's certain names of people that you see or you hear about and they're like, oh, he wasn't nothing. So
he was supposed to be up there.
Yeah. So basically, they took this man's name and for far as what he's saying, and I ain't gonna say drug it through the mud, but they made some comments.
What were they saying? Because I know Charlamagne apologized too.
Yeah.
I'm hearing about that.
So
morning.
it all started with on the Up and Smoke podcast, right? Maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know how exactly when, but it all started. I do believe Gilbert Arenas was a guest on there. Okay. And they were talking about, I think, a trade or something happened, and Kwame Brown's name came up. Now, I guess it was a point in time where Kwame Brown and Steven Jackson was on the same team from Charlotte to Indiana or on a team together, right? But his name came up, and they were kind of talking about the situation, I guess, what happened in Washington with the whole MJ thing. It's a lot of stuff about this kid for them just to be calling him. All you know is he's supposed to be a bust. It's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and he tearing down a lot. He tearing down a lot of doors, and he said it. Look, y'all been talking about me for 20 years.
Who said it?
Kwame. All I've been doing is sitting back and watching. And now y'all said y'all want to joke. Now we talking. Okay. And listen to me, man. He's telling everything from Steven Jackson getting beat down and ran over by a car in Indiana, attempting to be a thug. He's talking about Stephen A. Smith. Like, you made your career off of tearing me down. Like, who was you before? You know what I'm saying? You really started tearing me down. Like, look what you did to AI. Like, any black man athlete that's doing well, you attempt to tear them down. And he was posting videos like, how is a analyst going around the colleges talking about, Kwame Brown. Then he went after Skip Bayless. So it's a lot. It got to the point to where he even went after Charlamagne, because Charlamagne said something about this man's family. Said his dad was a murderer.
What?
Yeah. Well, his dad was a murderer. His brother was a murderer. That's what they said, right? Apparently this was true. But also what was true that Kwame Brown didn't know this about his father. He said his mom never told him. So it was a ton of things that came out. Charlamagne later apologized because he talked about Charlamagne's it's not rape as he said, but like misconduct with the minor.
What?
Yeah, you gotta hit your YouTube, man. I don't talk about all these type of stuff on my shows. I keep it positive, but I'm always researching, right? So now I'm kind of dug in, and he's just talking about how a lot of times, how does former NBA players, it's like OG Cassius and OG Jermaine, it's like them telling you, it's like you being the barber and you going to them to get the game, and they like, man, oh, I'm like, King, you got to see me like I'm the man, like, you know, you, even though you a barber, you not that one, because you ain't do this, or everybody said you this. And that's how he felt. Like, hold on, bro. I made it to the NBA. I was in the brotherhood. How y'all gonna call me a bust? And I did 10 years in the league. Yeah. How are you a bust if you do 10 years?
He doesn't live up to his name. Baby.
But here's the thing. He said, how do I not live up to my name? You remember DeAndre Jordan? Yeah. For the Clippers? And it was somebody else, but you know who DeAndre Jordan is. Yeah, because you like, he was a beast, whatever, right? Right, yeah. But what I'm saying, when he was hot that I knew of, and I don't follow basketball, he was at the Clippers. And then he left the Clippers to go to Dallas to get that big contract, and he wasn't the same. So
what happened? I don't know what happened.
Kwame Brown talked about how the year he got traded, him and DeAndre Jordan, because off the analytics, are the same. Mm-hmm. They both was 8 and 8 minutes of game. Like, I am right here at the people in my position that got $60 and $70 million contracts. Mm-hmm. But since my name Kwame Brown and I was talked about as being a bust in the NBA for the last 9 or 10 years, I could only get a $7 million deal. How am I a bust? And I got the same numbers as these dudes for the same period of time. And I made it 10 years. Yeah. Here's the thing that I discovered. Coaches, just like old sergeants, somebody attempt to blackball them. Who it is, we don't know. I don't know. Really? This is my opinion. Oh, okay. Trae, you the number 1 overall pick at 17. Think about this. This kid bought his mama a house at 18. Mm-hmm. You the overall pick at 17. You going into a grown man's game. How many number 1 picks from high school turned out to be great? We ain't got that many that you can count.
Every single one of them. The ones that did, they was all pretty good. Kobe, with LeBron.
And Moses Malone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here's the thing, and he made a very valid point. How come this kid didn't turn out to be great? And he was under Michael Jordan.
He was under Jordan. That's why he had the Jordan. Yeah, he was Jordan.
But he talked about how Jordan dogged him out horribly because everybody know how Jordan's attitude is, and he didn't want him. He only got him for the trade. But the trade didn't go the way he wanted it to go, so Jordan started berating him and told him he wasn't worth nothing, pretty much. This
we got about T-Mac too. T-Mac.
Yeah, this is as they say, all facts. You can go look it up on his YouTube. But I'm saying all that to say, like, even in the NBA, you have people talking down upon you when you made it at a level that they ain't even at. That's like me telling you, you suck at cutting hair. You need to be doing designs. You imagine me. I'm Stephen Smith talking about how horrible you are at cutting hair, and I only cut hair for 5 minutes in college.
Yeah, you gonna be like, man, you don't get out my face. Man.
But the people listen to that. And that's what he said. Oh, y'all been talking about me for 20 years. But y'all railroading these kids to go to college. You ain't telling them they gonna come out $80,000 in debt. You ain't telling them that only 1.3% of these kids going to the NBA become millionaires. You ain't telling them the truth. Mm-hmm. But you dogging them and berating them when they don't put up 20 a night. They don't put up 15 a night. It's still a kid. Yeah. And it was just like, man, wow, that's very interesting. And now you look at that, the reason he was mad at, I think, Steven Jack and Matt Barnes, because he's like, y'all are black men on a podcast that have so many views, so many shows, and this is the information you giving to be thugs. This is the information you giving Matt Barnes to go choke up, your player. You made it like Derek Fisher was a punk because he was with your lady. This is just what he said. But how does your teammate take your lady? Like, he's showing video clips.
That's crazy. That Derek Fisher pills, man.
Bruh, listen to me. The situation is crazy right now and it's ugly right now. And even like, I know we talking about hair and we got into the NBA and hair. You have a professional player who was amongst a union, like a hair union, basketball, and you think if it's a secret society in the world, the only secret societies is if you on a football team, basketball team, you in the army, whatever little company or corporation you work with is your secret society. Yeah. And you think the people inside your society gonna protect you. You would expect a bunch of barbers to protect you. But what happens is a bunch of barbers, they'll tear you down because some people don't want to grow.
And they're all about being afraid to somebody take their spot or outdoing them, even though that don't make sense because it's enough for everybody.
Somebody gonna take your spot. Well, two things. One, and I'm finna contradict myself, but it feels good to do it because I'm telling you I'm doing it. One, nobody could ever take your spot because it's only you.
Exactly.
But two, somebody's gonna take your spot because you're gonna die too, and they're gonna replace that spot. They have to fill that spot. So before you even code and in that spot we call the ground, your spot will be gone.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing what you have to do in the time and the space that you in anyway, why would you want to be in a spot today? Go home. That's biblical. Like it's biblical to give the guy 5 times, the other guy 10 times, and the one dude is like, oh, bro, oh Jesus, I kept your one, well, not Jesus, but Master, because I know you're a saving man, you want your stuff, you know what I'm saying? He like, why you keep it? You could have buried it in the ground, it could have produced something. You ain't do nothing to make it grow. Yeah. Give me yours and give it to the guy that went out and hustled. Yeah. Your spot is always up for grabs, whether you shooting a rock or you cutting a fade. Yeah. If you don't work on your spot, your ass just played yourself.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. You said continuing education. Continuing education.
That's it.
Because I know as barbers that they're way better than me. I'm not going to sit up and say I'm the best barber, but I got confidence in myself. And one of the reasons why I have a revolving door and so many people come to me is because I understand people, you know what I'm saying? I know quality over quantity any day, you know, that's the name of the game. That
is it right there, 100%. If you know who you are and you know what you bring to the table and you know what you do, that's going to shine through, and then the people will rock with you. They ain't going to care what the texture of your hair is, what your hair look like. They're going to find a way to help you get it right. But if you come with a bad attitude
ain't gonna ever get you nowhere, man. You know that.
From the NBA to the NFL.
Anything. NFL, what's his name? Ocho Cinco, great player. Terrell Owens, great player, man. Bad attitude. Career's got ended short.
Good haircuts. They had bald heads. No, I'm just joking. But no, in all seriousness though, if you in the ATX, you in Killeen, you in San Antonio, you in Houston, you in Dallas,
Fort Worth, anywhere in Texas, even in Louisiana, Arkansas, we want y'all to come out, man, because it's going to be a good event, 3-day event, June 26th through the 28th. Wow. The Boss Up Barber Mixer with Cassius, with Roller Coaster Waves, and OG Jermaine Walker. They're going to be out here, and we're going to be at Victory Grill, 1104 East 11th Street. So come over here, get some good drinks, get some good food. Vendors are wanted also. We're looking for vendors as well.
Nice. What, you need people to cook?
No, we're going to have people selling them.
No, I'm just messing.
Oh, no, it's a chicken and waffle spot. We got to try to bring some food over there.
Hey, they like, no.
You got the no lie. I'm like, oh,
showing up with the dollar store and losing your pants in
like,
that boy.
Like, hey, nigga, get out of here. We already got food. Oh, wait, my bad. Okay, sorry.
Hey, I thought it was like the barbershop, baby. Barbers running. You know, somebody out there barbecuing. Somebody
that's
talking
what
with the cake.
Listen, we already had the truck on the way. They were like, nah, you ain't bringing no truck back and nothing over here.
Hey, it don't matter if you're in Hollywood or the hood. We gonna make it get understood that we gonna have what we need. But indeed, you gotta believe in yourself, man. Hey, y'all gotta keep tuning in.
Definitely.
Barbershop, Expression Sessions Barbershop Edition with Trae and EJ, Mr. P.
Let them know where to follow you at. Hey, he is a motivational speaker. So if you need to get coaching sessions, anything, DM him right now and tell him where to follow you at.
You can follow me on IG at Mr. P.I.E.N. That is MRPIEN, stands for positive and every negative. You can use that same handle, Mr. P.I.E.N. 77 on YouTube. And then if you go to Facebook and you type in Mr. P.I.E.N., it'll bring you to my business page with my face smiling for Ethan Smith. And you can hit me on LinkedIn too, because you got to be on that professional wave. Don't just let them see you one-dimensional in the box you. That ain't how we do. You can hit me on LinkedIn too at Ethan J. Smith. And then you can also go to the website at www.mrpien. And look out for the merch shop that's going to be coming up soon on the
merch
scene.
Coming soon. Hey, we're going to have his store up and running real soon. So don't worry. We're going to have all the T-shirts, lanyards, hats, everything. His website's going to be up and running. We're going to be pumping it. Probably going to be on my website too, available for him. So.
Yeah. And I do. I'm an extreme execution coach, certified through the #1 inspirational speaker coach in the world, Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. Been certified for about a year. Shout out.
I didn't know that, man. Okay, now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the same.
Okay.
Same. I've been certified for a year now. So when you hear anything he's talking about the flight assessment, or the flight assessment is what Eric Thomas more so talks about. And he talks about guys like Victor Oladipo or Cam or certain guys, NBA guys and people that he mentioned that he worked with, this tool that I'm training in, that I've trained in, that I've been certified in, that I'm actually using on my clients. This is the same tool that he's using for these NBA, these execs in these corporate offices too. So
that's dope.
That's what I do, man. It ain't, just up here talking to entertain you. It's only 3 things that I'm looking to do. Motivate, inspire, and transform you to be the best version of you. So you too could go from being a student sitting at the back of the class with the OG casses to being in the front of the class, teaching the class with the OG casses, mentoring you now.
It's crazy. I remember I was talking to Jermaine Walker the other day, and we was in Las Vegas. It might have been like 2 or 3 years ago. And he was doing a cutting class, and guess who was the model? I was. Yeah. And I was a vendor, so I had my vendor booth being worked too. So he was like, "Hey, you wanna be my model?" And I'd be real hesitant on letting people cut my hair. And I'm like, I know he got the sauce, so I sat down, and he was teaching, and I was sitting there letting him cut my hair, and the haircut came out super fire. So I was like, man, it's kind of crazy. I went from being your model in a haircutting class, and now in Las Vegas, and now all of a sudden now we in Texas together.
And then here's the thing, I just got a free fire cut, because you ain't finna have me come sit up here
for the free.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's the love from the homie. That's when you making real connections. Like, I could have brought any random up here and cut their hair. No offense to nobody. I could have brought any random person and blessed them with what I know a gift. But how often does the barber get to sit back and relax and get blessed like that and just get cut up? A lot of barbers, whether they say it or not, especially in the beginning, they cut their own self up. They go to their homeboy who got to get a quick cut, who tired because he been behind a chair all day. Exactly. So they don't really get pampered in that way. And at a Vegas show, you already knew. He like, it's about to go down. You know what I'm saying? That was dope, so that's pretty dope, man. That was a dope event. I can't remember the name of the event, but we was in the Las Vegas Convention Center. It was dope, man. Oh, yeah. So you didn't heard me talk about where I'm at. Tell the people where to find you, because I know you got 1,000 pages too. Y'all tap into my boy. Hey, Q, I know you might be at work. QMW.
Trae the Barber on Instagram. Trae, TRAETHE Barber. All one word. Trae the Barber on Instagram. Trae the Barber on Twitter, and also Trae the Barber on Facebook. I'm on all platforms. You can even go Google me. My stuff, it should pop up. Trae the Barber, Dallas, Texas, but we live in Austin. So appreciate y'all, man.
I found him on Instagram, and I think he liked the video I did before or something. And I looked at his Instagram page, and I'm like, oh, man, this dude all over the world. He had pictures in China, Cali, and here and there and everywhere. I said, if he been all over the world, I hope he can at least cut hair. Yeah, and that's been about 4 years ago. We've been still rocking.
It's been there. It's been that long. Golly, it's crazy.
Yeah, this will make year 4, the beginning of year 4 that I've been back in Texas. So yeah, it's been about 4 years.
That time flies by. Sheesh, man. Oh, got shout out. Hey, shout out to my boy King, man, up in Dallas.
Oh yeah, King up there doing his thing. Man. Shout out to my man Killer Wolf Fitness.
What's up, Wolf?
If you looking to get your fitness and your body right, not just on the outside, but on the inside, because he coming up with some of those little drinks too that we all do to get that energy right, that natural you. Killer Wolf Fitness, man. That's an old veteran, old infantry grunt brother. He get you right. Go check him out at Killer Wolf Fitness on IG and on Facebook. And shout out to King. He always doing something.
Hustler, man. Super hustler.
Yeah, super hustler. But when you doing what you need to do, then the right people start to surround you and they help you grow you.
Yeah, be right.
No matter what your hair look like. You cut it off, it'll grow back too. Might not look how you want it to look, but you get with the right crew and you have less stress, you can plug that stuff up.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got Jack Daniels. We got Cacti. Seltzer. Also, shout out to Top of the Galaxy CBD Shop also.
Hey, Top of the Galaxy CBD Shop.
Shout out to Paradise Productions too for everything.
Hey, I want to say a big special shout out to Trae the Barber, my buddy right here. He's become like a brother to me. Real talk, he's gave me a lot of information to help me grow too. It's only because of you that I'm down here doing what I do.
Big facts.
Being at Paradox, I remember us talking about this and you telling me to come. I finally came, and it's been on. I want to say shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey.
The lovely pictures that y'all see, did my photo shoot for me. So we got another one dropping tomorrow with the quotes by me and my wife. So
graphics by Corey.
Graphics by Corey.
Holla at Corey for the graphics.
Amazing artwork at CLE Photography.
Exactly.
All I'm saying to you is what I need you to see is when you connect yourself to the right people, then you'll grow so much easily You won't have to worry about the stress and your hair falling out because you be somewhere on the beach letting the wind blow and it flow for free. Oh, well, that's all you got from me. I think it's about time we could go. It's been about an hour or more.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming out, man. And I'm gonna try to give me some lunch real quick and
All right.
figure out what we're gonna do for the rest of the day. But hey, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna be tuned in the next couple of days too with OG Walker and Cassius Roller Coaster Waves. We're gonna go live again. We're gonna try to get 200 or 300, 400 people on that live too. So definitely be tuned in.
Make sure you share your thing, and I'll share it on my page. And if you're a barber out there, share it that day. Even if you don't come out from Austin, just show some support, man. Share it on your page, tag it on your page, and let people make some noise about it. It's been another wonderful session of Barbershop Expression Sessions. Even though we not in the shop, we still doing shop talk with a professional barber. So make sure you comment down below, and we're going to put up a page one day so they can subscribe and really check